Everybody. What's going on? How you doing? Welcome to Adamcast. It's a special edition. Why is it a special edition? It's not. It's just whatever. Every day is special. Come on, who are we kidding, right? We're alive. I'm alive. And that makes today special because I'm still here. This is amazing. And YouTube, which is also amazing because I had Philip Anderson on my show last night, and I honestly thought they were going to tag me just because, you know, he's been blacklisted from pretty much everywhere. But you know, we didn't. It's still there. I actually I woke up to like, oh no, watch out, YouTube might get you because they changed their rules, and I was a little nervous. I'll be honest. I kind of freaked out. Actually, a friend of mine, one of my coworkers that helps me run my new show, was trying a thumbnail and told me he couldn't get into the YouTube. And this is before I was on my computer, and I was like, oh man, YouTube changed. I just had a spicy guest, I guess. And then of course now we're having trouble getting into my YouTube. Oh, so I was a little nervous. I'll be honest. I was a little nervous. Oh my goodness. So YouTube changed their rules. Okay, we're going to talk about the changing of the YouTube rules. I guess, we'll talk about it because I know what's going on. Am I lagging right now? What everyone's saying I'm choppy. I don't know what's going on. It could. Guess what? All right. So just really, is it lagging like crazy? Let me just try something. How's that? Is that better, everybody? Hopefully it cleaned up the lag a little bit. I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe they'll just continue getting me, you know, whatever. I don't know what to say. You know, here I'm talking about the new YouTube rules and how everything's kind of YouTube's catching me out. I mean, all right, everyone, I don't know what's going on. It's saying I'm throttled. The internet, I mean, I've done nothing different than from whatever else is been every single day. I've been the same. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, maybe. Oh, some people are saying it's better now. It's good now. Oh, that's good. All right. So I don't know what that was. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the new YouTube rules. Then we're going to be talking about a little bit about what I'm going to do because of that, branching out a little bit. People have been asking me for a while to do some things that I have now made the move to do. Also, Antifa set up a new autonomous zone. We're going to talk about that. Interesting autonomous zone. And then also, let's see, what else am I going to talk about? We got Goya made AOC Employee of the Month. Now, I honestly thought this was a joke when I first read this a while ago, and it turns out it's not a joke. It turns out it's actually, it straight up made her the Employee of the Month because their revenue went up like 1,000% or something, so it's pretty insane. Excuse me. All right, and then I'm going to talk about NASA. They've actually selected all of their new astronauts that are going to be going to the moon. All right, and I'm going to read about it. I'm going to read who they are and just, you know, just share their names because they are the next humans that are going to be going back to the moon, including the first female and the next man, all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm really excited to tell everybody about it. And my gosh, I'm still... it's showing me excellent connection, but my video that I'm seeing, like in my YouTube studio that I have open right here, is frozen. I have no idea what's going on at all as far as why my YouTube channel is being, I don't know, whatever it's happened, it's happening. I don't really know how to change it. Let me just see. Are you downloading anything? Because I don't know if you know, Cyberpunk comes out today in 30 minutes for PC. All right, Cyberpunk is coming. I actually have, let's see, I have my Steam open. 24 minutes and 15 seconds for PC players that you can preload. And I believe it's, what is it, till midnight? 5.5 hours until midnight here. So on PS5, you can play it at midnight Eastern time, but PC players can play it in 23 minutes. I'll be honest, I'm a little bummed that I'll be doing my show, that I can't instantly be one of the first, because I'm very excited about playing that game. So I'm going to be doing that. Very exciting. People are saying there's ads nonstop on my channel. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it keeps trying to reset or something. For some reason, I am it's blocking me from. It still hasn't loaded. I'm gonna try reloading this page and see if that clears it up, because I don't know why I should have such a difficulty having it. It's just repeating. People are saying the ads. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna put my guitar down. Let's get into these subjects now. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Today is a very interesting day as far as the YouTube works. I'm going to spin this here UFO because it is not spinning. Maybe that's the issue. All right, so maybe if I spin the UFO, everything will be fine. Okay, I have successfully spun the UFO. All right, so maybe that'll work now. Hopefully it does. Apologies if it doesn't. I hope you guys. Well, thank you for those who are still hanging out with me. Throughout this, laggy stream. All right, let's get into it though. All right, this is what started it all right here. All right, the YouTube official blog came out with something today. They're changing their terms, supporting the 2020 U.S. election. All right, I'm going to read this to you in its entirety here, so everyone kind of understands what has changed and what they're doing. Over the past weeks and months, we've seen people coming to YouTube to learn about where and how to vote, or learning more about a candidate or an issue. We've seen news organizations grow their audience. I just winked, by the way, for those who are just listening. And we've seen people turn to YouTube for the latest election results, or simply to follow a historic event with the highest voting turnout in over a century in the U.S. Our main goal going into the election season was to make sure we are connecting people with authoritative information while also limiting the reach of misinformation and removing harmful content. The work here is ongoing, and we wanted to provide an update. Removing content that violates our policies. Our community guidelines prohibit spam, scams, and other manipulated media, coordinated influence operations, and any content that seems to incite violence. Since September, we've terminated over 8,000 channels and thousands of harmful and misleading election-related videos for violating our existing policies. Over 77% of those removed videos were taken down before they had 100 views. We also work to make sure that the line between what is removed and what is allowed is drawn in the right place. Our policies prohibit misleading viewers about where and how to vote. We also disallow content alleging widespread fraud or errors changed the outcome of the historical U.S. presidential election. However, in some cases, that has meant allowing controversial views on the outcome or process of counting votes of a current election, as election officials have worked to finalize counts. Yesterday was the safe harbor deadline for the U.S. presidential election, and enough states have certified their election results to determine a president-elect. Given that, we will start removing any piece of content uploaded today or any time after that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors changed the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election, in line with our approach towards historical U.S. presidential elections. For example, we will remove videos claiming that the presidential candidate won the election due to widespread software glitches or counting errors. We will begin enforcing this policy today and will ramp up in the few weeks to come. As always, news coverage and commentary on these issues can remain on our site if there's sufficient education, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. Let's take a second to just digest that. What have I been talking about over the past couple weeks? Exactly this kind of stuff. All right, I've been covering the Dominion debacle, we'll call it. I've been covering all the things that I'm finding, that I'm seeing. And what is going on here? They're saying, shut up and listen to what we have to say. And this is what is happening now. He's the president-elect. If you don't agree with it, you're going to get banned outright now. Okay. This is borderline them becoming a publisher, isn't it? Look, YouTube, thank you for giving me this platform to use. This is incredible. I feel like I've been welcomed with open arms, and I quickly gained so many subscribers, and especially thank you, subscribers out there, for following me on this journey to become a YouTube commentator or an online commentator, because, who knows? But I enjoy it, and thankfully you seem to enjoy my opinions on things. And that's to say, like, I appreciate being able to give my viewpoint on things. And my viewpoint, I tend to try to be logical and try to follow the truth and find that and share what I've found, okay? So what I've found doesn't necessarily, it kind of goes against these policies, because what I'm seeing is exactly that, And I'm going to go over it. So I just want to jump over to something Tim posted. If you don't know who Tim Pool is, you should. Timcast. He's a great source of news. He really gives you a good source of information. You don't have to agree with his opinions on it, but he does do a good job of bringing you the news. Here he posted, YouTube has clarified to Tim, you can say Trump actually won the election. You can still claim that the election was stolen from Trump. You must meet two conditions for a video to be removed. You must claim widespread fraud or error and say that it made Trump lose. You can still say there is evidence of widespread fraud. You can still say that he actually won, but you just cannot combine the two. And he finishes it. What a strange time we live in. And isn't that the truth? How strange is that? That you're not even allowed to, have an opinion. That's what it is. You're not allowed to have an opinion. That's crazy to me. Look at this on Schaefer. And just like that, YouTube will now remove any videos that talk about Russian collusion in the last anti-Trump election conspiracies are still okay to talk about. You can talk about those all day long. But any videos that come into question, only this election will be banned. That says they're not even hiding their BS, their bias, their BS. Really, that's what it is. It's like they don't want these opinions being, that they are literally saying, shut up and listen to the narrative that we want to put forward. YouTube's jumping on the bandwagon. Twitter has been conservatives on the far, I would say far right, but just doesn't even matter. I don't even know where the spectrum is now. It just feels like if you're on the far right. And people would probably think that I'm on the far right, which is ridiculous. I feel like I'm very much in the middle because I'd like to be. I don't think I'm extreme on any sense, I'm just a simple American trying to live my life the best I can, and that's what I want for wherever you want to place me, that's where it's going to place me. But man, this is kind of ridiculous. This is from Crowder. Here, bear in mind, these are not my opinions. I just see them and I'm like, interesting. Sorry, you allow fake news Russia hoax videos to flourish on your platform while removing legally defensible, factual sourced content on widespread election fraud and injections of a platform. Nope. See, what he's basically talking about is how there is proof. And I even commented, I was like, you got a good point there, Crowder. They're not a platform anymore. They're choosing what is out there. So you have to understand that it's up to YouTube. They're not a platform anymore. They are proving that they are a publisher. They're like, actually, we're going to pick and choose what is published on our channel. And, that's what they're going with. And that's the vibe that I'm getting too from this official blog. They're basically announcing we're a publisher. we're no longer a platform. And that, to me, is, I mean, they got these protections, but what are the protections for? What are they being protected from? If they're being sued, but this is man. Well, again, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not fully versed in the legal ramifications of them being a platform versus a publisher, and if they're a publisher, are they still protected under the 230 laws? And if so, I don't know. I'll tell you what I do know though. I'm covering my butt. All right, look, I started a library account, which is also coordinated with Odyssey, and so I've got a few other things in the works that I'm working on, but they're connected. So my YouTube channel's directly connected right now, and if things go the way I would hope they don't go, because I enjoy being on YouTube, I still have a platform, so you can go follow me there. And actually, these guys over at Library are pretty cool. They actually hooked me up with a code that if you don't have a library account, they actually have. Let me just pull this up so I can read it directly to you. It's basically like a bonus code. So if you sign up and enter in the code spin the UFO, spin the UFO, you get a little bit of LBC, which is kind of like their currency, because you get currency for doing things, referring other people, and it's basically a cryptocurrency that you can give to others. You can buy Bitcoin with it, and so the first 500 people who redeem it will get some LBC, and that's pretty cool. So if you sign up and go to my page and enter the code in spin-the-UFO, you will get a little piece of that, and that's pretty cool. So, and they're pretty cool. I like those guys over there. I don't know what is going on with my connection today. This is insane. Or is it? I mean, is it? What is going on? I don't know, but I'm working on it. I'm working on changing my spreading out my diversifying my online presence, I guess. Look, I didn't expect to be around on Twitter much longer, to be honest. Savannah Hernandez, she got banned from Twitter. We still don't know why. She just hit me up today, actually, and she's just like, I would love to come on your show again. So she'll be back on a more regular basis too, because Carlin joins me on Thursdays. Savannah might be joining me on another day. We haven't actually decided which day it's going to be, but I'm looking forward to that. But she got banned from Twitter. She doesn't even know why. I feel like I was like, oh man, if she got banned, there's only a matter of time before I get banned because of what I talk about and how I break the narrative also. Philip Anderson, he got banned from all social media. It's insane. So like they just don't want him being on any sort of platform, which is crazy to think about, because I was talking to him last night about this, and I could tell the vibe, like he got super depressed when you get taken out of a community, and you think about what community is nowadays. It is on the internet. So what is going on the internet? Everything. Everybody's on the internet now. Everything is out in the interwebs. If you get cut off, you're cutting people off from the rest of humanity, and that's something that we're not taking into account. Okay, people get, you cut someone off from a direct person in their life. Like, say someone dies, it's a shame. Of course, death is never easy, but someone gets taken away from their lives, that's really sad. But if you take everybody away from their life, if they're, we're taught you're not supposed to live in your mom's basement. You're supposed to have your own spot and live on your own, where humans have lived with their families for years and years, hundreds of years, thousands of years. It's been generations living together, teaching each other. It was the father taught the son how to do all the things his grandfather and his grandfather's grandfather taught him throughout the line, and that's how we got better and better and better at things. Now everything's automated. Now live on your own, and don't be together in a community. So where is our community? Online. So now we have this online communities that people are being cut off from, and it's like cutting them out of society. And I don't think people are really recognizing how important, having access to the new community, the town square, like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all these places they're not just a platform, especially if they're deciding who and what gets to be broadcast on their platforms, which basically proves them to be publishers. But I feel like that's a whole nother argument, but really it's we have to understand that it's changing, and we need to alter the laws. We need to protect free speech. We need people to be protected. Look, if you don't like what people are saying, block them. Block them. And then you don't have to see them anymore. Sticks and stones. Words are hurting everybody. No one even uses sticks and stones because they just use words, and everyone gets all upset and freaked out. It blows me away that's how things are going down. And then we got, it's not even over. Look, we got Texas is suing Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin at the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's right. It's still going on. Not only that, look at this. 17 states are joining Texas. Texas and their 17 supporting states versus the 4 state elections. And I saw someone in chat, I don't know if this is true or not, someone just mentioned that Arizona is joining in on this, which is interesting because that's one of the swing states too. But they're challenging to the Supreme Court. So it's not necessarily over. YouTube's changing all its guidelines. Twitter's like, we're going to take away the POTUS thing. And it's like, okay, people have voted. Okay. There's been a projected nominee, but we haven't seen who's won yet. That's what blows me away. And that's why I keep posting these polls on my Twitter. Look, if you're not on Twitter, I'm going to show you something. Every day, or at least I've tried to do this every single day, I've done, who do you think will win? Hashtag spot poll retweet. Now, I'm the only one who's used this. I checked it. So I have I'm going to go all the way back, load them all up, and we're going to just go through it real quick. Check this out. November 5th, I actually did do on November 3rd and 4th, but I didn't do the hashtag. I have to go back and add the hashtag, but it's okay. November 5th. And you could see, obviously, I have a lot of Trump supporters in my Twitter following, but it varies. It goes down to 74%. This is when they announced that Joe Biden was going to be the winner. Then it went back up a little bit, and then it spiked when he started. I think this is about when the Kraken was going to be released, when they started talking about that. 83, 84. It hovers around 83, 84. It went down a little bit once. I don't remember exactly the different dates, but you can see throughout the month, it dropped down to 70. Then it's back up in the 80s, down to the 70s, back to the 80s. So it's hovering around 80% now. That's a good chunk of my following. I mean, 6,000 people voted in the first one, only 1,469 votes on the last one. But you can see it's like people are clearly believing that Trump has still got it, right? I mean, and I believe it too. I've never lost the thought that he's going to lose. I don't think that. Or I've never lost the thought of him winning. Right. Okay, I said that wrong, but straight up, I haven't lost faith. I have always thought that from what I've seen, it's only proved to me more and more. Now we have the whole Chinese connection and Hunter Biden. They're finally breaking the news on it in the mainstream media, even though most of us who pay attention already knew everything about Hunter Biden being connected and all the whole China connection to Dominion software that we're seeing that I've covered multiple times. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this kind of stuff anymore. I don't know what's going on. I feel like every single time I started talking about stuff, it started slowing down. What is going on? I don't even right now. It looks like it's loading, and I can't. It's not smooth, which it normally is right here. So what's changed? What is happening? I don't understand. Look at this. The U.S. government calls for a breakup of Facebook. This is huge. This is more along those lines of what's going on. The Federal Trade Commission sued to break up Facebook today, asking a federal court to force the sell-off of assets such as Instagram and WhatsApp. Woo! That's crazy. Look at this. Man, now I see people saying again, what is going on with this? I don't know what's happening. I apologize, everybody. All right, I'm going to keep reading, though, but I don't know what's happening. YouTube is now not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Apologies for those who are hanging out with me. Something's up with the internet. Nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to keep reading here. All right, the Federal Trade Commission sued to break up Facebook on Wednesday, asking a federal court to sell off of assets such as Instagram and WhatsApp as independent businesses. Facebook has maintained its monopoly position by buying up companies that present competitive threats and by imposing restrictive policies that unjustifiably hinder actual or potential rivals that Facebook does not and cannot acquire, the commission said in the lawsuit filed in federal court in Washington, D.C. The lawsuit asked the court to order the divestiture of assets, divestiture or reconstruction of businesses, including but not limited to Instagram and or WhatsApp, as well as other possible relief the court might want to add. The announcement is a major step that has been in the making with Facebook and several other major U.S. technologies companies that have grown quickly in the past 10 years with little government oversight. But the lack of scrutiny has changed recently, with a series of lawsuits that now threaten to rein in the dominance of big American tech firms that have grown to be among the world's most valuable companies. Attorney General from 48 states and territories said they were filing their own lawsuit against Facebook, reflecting the broad and bipartisan concern about how much power Facebook and its CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, have accumulated on the internet. Facebook's share price fell as much as 4% after the news, before paring its losses. Break up Facebook has become a rally cry for the company's critics, from Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat of Massachusetts, to one of Facebook's wealthiest founders, Chris Hughes, who last year wrote a 6,000-word case for a breakup. But the idea has never been truly attempted in court. Facebook said it was reviewing the two lawsuits and pointed out that the FTC approved the Instagram and WhatsApp acquisitions at the time. Years after the FTC cleared our acquisitions, the government now wants a do-over with no regard for the impact that precedent would have on broader business community or the people who choose our products every day, Facebook said in a statement, adding that it would have more to say soon. Zuckerberg had previously vowed a vigorous defense. Last year, he told employees in an internal meeting that if a government sued to break up Facebook, then I would bet that we will have a legal challenge, and I would bet that we will win the legal challenge. Goodness sakes. At the end of the day, if someone is going to try to threaten something that existential, you go to the mat and you fight, Zuckerberg said. Even if government lawyers win a judgment against Facebook, it would be up to a federal judge what to do about the company's dominant position. It's rare for a big company to be broken up, but it happens in the past, as in AT&T in 1984. Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion in 2012 in a deal that was approved by the FTC at the time in a 5-0 vote. At a time when Instagram wasn't widely used, Facebook bought WhatsApp in 2014 around $22 billion. It's just the timing on this is so interesting, because go take off what we've been talking about this whole episode. Big tech. I mean, that was basically the whole premise of last night's show interview with Philip. I mean, it didn't even feel like an interview. It felt more like he was just saying, look at what big tech is doing to me. And he's right. He's a good example of someone who has a voice. He is living the American dream. He loves America because he's come from a harsh environment in Ethiopia. He said it's war-torn. You know, his parents were, you know, missionaries there and essentially saved him, you know, bringing him to this amazing country. And now he's being, you know, told, you know, feels like a war zone again, you know, but it's mental. It's a mental warfare. That's what we're in, you know, internet warfare. This new kind of war isn't physical. It's a mental game, information. And that's what we're seeing. They have too much power. I'm not going to elaborate on who's they, but you can put the pieces together yourself. You know, I really enjoy having a platform, having people come and listen to me, you know, talk daily from Monday through Friday about the different things that I find daily, looking up through stuff, you know. So, you know, shout out to all of you who are you know, showing up for me every day. It's amazing. I really do appreciate all of you. This kind of stuff is going to change soon. We're going to see, you know, how it affects you know, the internet, how it affects the world. And I don't know. We're going to see what happens, because I feel like we're at a crossroads right now. And freedom is it's almost like the end game is either we're going to keep it or we're going to lose it. And it's kind of sad, because I like my freedom. I like being able to say what I want to say. I like you being able to say what you want to say. I have thick skin. You could say what you want about me. I can handle it. What happened to that? How do we lose that? You know, what happened to the sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me? Don't let words hurt you. Who cares? Stop giving so much of a, you know, an F without saying it about things that shouldn't affect you. Do you. Stop worrying about others. And I feel like that's part of this issue. So many people just care about what others think. Why? It's like they need to be validated to, you know, they're not getting validation from, maybe they don't get it from their family. Maybe they don't have it from, you know, whatever, their friends. But look, everyone deserves to feel like they're valuable. And if you don't feel valuable, it's everyone else's fault, because you put all of that validation on other people instead of just finding it in yourself. Validate yourself. That's the key, right? We've lost that. We've lost that ability because we're separated. Like I said, we're not even in a community anymore. We're told, get your own apartment, stay on yourself, you know, go to school, get out of the home. Now you're on your own. Now you have to learn life on your own. And people are clueless. Humans are clueless. Come on, let's be honest. I was clueless for a long time. I thought I had a grasp on things. This year was a shocker for me. Little did I know how much I actually knew about the political system, my goodness, or how important it is for my future, your future, everybody's future, all of us. It all comes into play. You know, all this makes a difference. It's crazy. So I don't know what's going to happen with this lawsuit. It'd be crazy if Facebook had to divest and get rid of Instagram. That would be fantastic. I was bummed when they bought Instagram. Instagram all of a sudden had these ads everywhere. Like, I remember there was a time that whenever I went on Instagram, I'd see an ad and I would straight up report it. Well, why are you reporting it? Because I don't like seeing ads on my Instagram feed. I want to see my friends. You know, the few people I do follow, it's because I want to actually see what they're up to. You know, it was a nice streamlined version of Facebook. Now it just feels like I don't even like going on there anymore. I don't even go on Facebook anymore. Well, sometimes I do, but not really. I do it just to post my streams that I go online. Now I'm just busy researching and stuff. That's what I spend my time with. Yeah. So there's that. We're going to see how that turns out, and I'll obviously be reporting it more and more as we go. I feel like there was so much news today, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. Congratulations to everybody who is playing Cyberpunk. It is live as of 5 minutes ago. Maybe that's what the internet is so slow for, because people everywhere are trying to download Cyberpunk. Who knows, right? I don't know. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about real quick before we get into the new autonomous zone. I just wanted to make a more of a lighthearted thing. This is hilarious. Goya Foods named AOC Employee of the Month after her boycott boosts sales by 1,000%. You heard that correctly, 1,000%. Let's read about it. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was named Goya Foods Employee of the Month earlier this year after a company's sales increased when the New York Democrat called for a boycott. When she boycotted us, our sales actually increased 1,000%. Goya Foods CEO Robert Unanu said in a radio or on the radio during the Michael Berry show on Monday. So we gave her an honorary. We never were able to hand it to her, but she got the Employee of the Month for bringing attention to Goya and our adobo. In July, Unanu praised President Trump during a Rose Garden speech, which sparked the ire of Ocasio-Cortez. Not just Ocasio-Cortez, many different people. I saw people grabbing cans of food and just throwing it in the trash, Goya products. This is coming off of the time when there was people in food lines trying to get food because they were screwed from losing their jobs, from the economy being closed down, from COVID. Okay, now that aside, because every single person that I saw throwing food away during this time is an a-hole. Okay? Anyway, moving on. We are truly blessed to have a leader like President Trump, who is a builder, Unanu said at the time. We have an incredible builder, and we pray. We pray for our leadership, our president. Ocasio-Cortez hit back at the remarks on Twitter and signaled her support for a Goya boycott. Oh, look, it's the sound of me Googling how to make your own adobo, Ocasio-Cortez wrote after she retweeted a call to boycott Goya Foods. And here is actually the, I don't know who this person, Igorvalsky, whatever. It's blue check, of course, double blue checks. The CEO of Goya Foods at the event saying, we're blessed to have a leader like Trump. Make your shopping decisions accordingly. Well, they're right. He is a good leader. And if you don't really see that, then you weren't paying attention to what he was doing while he was leading. You were too brainwashed listening to what the mainstream media was telling you. I bet you don't even know the things that he did do for this country. All you hear is Russia collusion, Russia collusion. Yeah, well, that was debunked. It was all smoke. And you were sitting in the middle of that smoke, just saying, Orange man bad, Orange man bad. I don't want to hear any of the real stuff. Look, he was a good leader. All right. He did kill it in the economy. Like we have an incredible economy. Like we were energy solo, like, energy efficient, like whatever on our own. We produced our own energy for the first time in like 60 years or something. The jobs were at an all-time high. All right. Unemployment was at an all-time low. It's amazing. All right. Everyone was thriving. No one wants to talk about that. All right. Well, excuse me. No one on the left wants to talk about that. They don't want to recognize that. They can't recognize that. But here's the CEO of Goya Foods going, yeah, he's done really good for us. Thank you. Thank you, President. You helped the minority community that I'm a part of. Unanu has stuck by his support for the president, saying in an interview after receiving pushback from liberals that he won't apologize for the remarks. And what should he have apologized for? That's ridiculous. So you're allowed to talk good or to praise one president, but you're not allowed when I was called to be a part of this commission to aid in economic and educational prosperity and make a positive comment, all of a sudden, it's not acceptable, Unanu said on Fox News following his White House appearance. So I'm not apologizing for saying, and especially if you're called by the President of the United States, you're going to say, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy, no thank you. I didn't say that to the Obamas, and I didn't say that to President Trump. Booyah! This guy is based. That's right, based. This dude, president of Goya Foods, shout out to you because you are a boss. Anyway, I just wanted to say that awesome story because Ocasio-Cortez, you failed in your attempt to try to cancel Goya. I know I bought a bunch of Goya stuff, so that's how I roll. All right, now let's talk about this new red zone. All right, it's the Red House Autonomous Zone, RHAZ. All right, not to be confused with Chaz, because that was the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and there was a different warlord there, RHAZ, right? And now the new one is called RHAZ. So maybe Chaz will be the name of the warlord that pops up to rule there. I don't know. We'll see, actually. All right, so this is from Andy No. This guy's always in the know. He knows he's constantly. I mean, he lives in Portland, so he's very adamant on showing the stuff in Portland. Antifa established new autonomous zone in Portland after chasing away police. Look at this. Let me see. The protests erupted after police raided a house on Mississippi Avenue around 5 a.m. on Tuesday. For months, radical left-wing activists have been occupying the property known as the Red House to protect squatters who were legally served multiple eviction notices. The Portland Police Bureau assisted in the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office this morning in initially clearing out the property. Police encountered resistance, including from a person with a firearm who was taken into custody. Several other guns were recovered on the scene. Soon after, Antifa accounts on social media called for comrades to retake the space. There is an active call for numbers, defensive gear, and supplies, and change of clothes/block, tweeted the Pacific Northwest Young Liberation Front. Get up and get your A to, and then it posts the address. Look, this is crazy. Look, check this out. This is from Tyler Hansen. This dude he's one of those people that always posts some serious pictures of what's going on. He's always down in the dirt. Look at the amount of Molotov cocktails lined up right behind the barriers. This is a picture of the barriers that they've built. These are like some crazy barriers now. Like, I don't even know how you get into these places now. But yeah, look at this. They've got all these Molotov cocktails lined up and ready to go and fight back against the Portland PD. Look at this. Mayor Ted Wheeler, I am authorizing the Portland police to use all lawful means to end the illegal occupation of North Mississippi Avenue and to hold those violating our community's laws accountable. There will be no autonomous zone in Portland. Ted Wheeler, now you're going to do this? Now you're going to come along and be like, well, maybe we should actually lock this all down and make sure blah, blah, blah. Because like when they were trying to burn down the federal courthouse, you went and marched along with them, saying this is great. This is a peaceful protest. And they were like, are you going to defund the police? And he's like, this is such a great time. All right, everybody, have a great day. Gets inside of his hotel. Once he's safe, he goes, all right, it's a riot. Man, Ted Wheeler, man, they don't like you either. But now he's finally going to make a decision to crack down on all this stuff. Now I have shout out to Neo Unrealist. He actually sent me this article. It kind of like breaks it down really well. Occupation outside North Portland home continues despite mayor's condemnation warning. All right. I'll read into it. Uncertainty heightened late Tuesday outside a North Portland home where 150 people huddled behind makeshift barriers to prevent the ouster of a black and indigenous family who owned the home for decades. Police had clashed with demonstrators outside Mississippi Avenue home hours earlier. Officers retreated and occupiers dug in. Mayor Wheeler said late Tuesday that he had authorized the police to use all lawful means to end the illegal occupation. Demonstrators remained outside the house late Tuesday night amid the rain. The initial confrontation between police and protesters unfolded hours earlier after police arrived to help the property's legal owner fence off the house. After the Kinney family failed to make payments on a second mortgage to what they contend was a predatory loan company, the lender sold the house to the highest bidder, a development company, at a 2018 foreclosure auction. The family unsuccessfully challenged their removal with the final ruling that they must depart the property issued in September. The Kinney's case gained prominence as calls for racial justice took hold this summer. The house sits within a historical black residential neighborhood that is gentrified and now is the home to many condominiums and mixed-use buildings. Protesters have camped for months to stall the removal. Wheeler said late Tuesday that the loss of the family's home was a result of a thorough legal process. His comments arrived at the home's longtime residents, guided reporters, and others through the house, which they said police had damaged earlier that day. William Nietzsche, 35, walked through his childhood bedroom and pointed out the places where he said officers rifled through his belongings. The closet door in his childhood bedroom appeared to have been ripped off, leaving a small strip of wood still on its hinges. All right. So one thing I caught there, they had a second mortgage from a predatory loan company. First and foremost, I don't agree with the predatory loan companies in general, right? And, this is just messy. This is all sorts of messy. And actually, I got a tweet from Tim. This is, this is what he said on it. Evicting people because they can't pay up due to being forced to stay at home by a nearly year-long lockdown. Sorry, but cops enforcing the shutting down of people's businesses, then trying to evict people who can't pay their bills is BS. The system is broken. But we just found out it happened back in 2018, long before this lockdown. They had nothing to do with this lockdown. They were already behind. And they pulled a second mortgage to try to stay afloat. It seemed like they weren't able to even maintain this. Everyone, look, this is why people don't like Jordan Peterson. Why? Because he says you need to be accountable for your own actions. Okay? If you sign into a predatory loan company and you foreclose on it, I mean, whose fault really is it? You're the people who went to the predatory loan company in the first place and, fell for that. We know they exist. They're not a good thing. But if you go for them, it's because it's your last resort. And it's usually you fall into the trap because that's what it is. It's a trap. So back in 2018, they foreclosed and the bank sold. That's 2 years ago. This has nothing to do with the whole eviction, pretending to be, part of this lockdown, like whatever, they can't afford it. It's like 2018. That's 2 years ago. So what's going on? What does it have to do with the lockdowns this year? Okay, they're using it as a reason, an excuse to do another autonomous zone, to hate the police. The Antifa in Portland already said, we don't care about Biden. We don't care about Trump. We want the system to burn down. I mean, now we're seeing, man, they're kicking cars. I'll turn this volume off. There's police cars. They're kicking them. They're saying, get out of here. They're spraying them. This video is long. Like, they straight up chase these police officers down the street. Tell them to get out of their neighborhood. What is this? This is the world we're living in now? I don't want to live in this kind of world. Look, I want opportunities for everybody, period. I want everyone to, be accountable for their own actions also. I want everyone to feel that they need to do their part to further themselves. Stop blaming others. Look, if you think you're a victim, then you're a victim. All right? But if you learn from your lessons and rise out of whatever happened to you and become stronger for it, that's the kind of stuff that I respect. All right? This kind of stuff sucks, but we still need to learn from our mistakes, learn from what other people might have damaged you. I'm not saying that victims don't exist, because it's true. But there's the choice to remain the victim or learn from what has happened to you and become stronger. And that's what we need to do. And especially if you're not being accountable for your own actions, you're blaming others for it, that's not being a victim. That's being a child. That's what children do. They blame others. They don't want to have accountability. All right? And that's what I see a lot of these people doing. They're blaming others for everything. Oh, well, it's the system's fault. Or you guys just defaulted on your mortgage because whatever reasons, you had a predatory loan. I don't know what the situation was, but now all of a sudden it's systemic racism. I don't know. So we'll see. This is crazy. I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. Portland's been a mess for many, many years, and I don't see it getting better. All right. So time is flying by. All right, so I'm going to talk about the Artemis team. Just I'm done talking about all this crazy stuff. So look, shout out to Starship SN8. Rest in peace. It was so cool to watch you fly. I don't know how many people watched the flight test from Starship today, but it looked so amazing. It took off. It was flying perfectly. It turned sideways and was lofting down and went to turn upright and was trying to slow itself down, and it couldn't slow itself down in time and blew up upon hitting the ground. So it was really sad. But you know, they do the tests to get it right, you know, and you could see that SpaceX has a very good track record with their new Falcon. You know, Dragon has been sent into space a few times now twice with the humans aboard, and it's only a matter of time before we, get the Starship done. So I'm really looking forward to watching Elon Musk make that happen. So this is the Artemis team. This is from NASA. At NASA, we've always answered the innate call to go. Now we're returning to the moon under the Artemis program to learn to live and work on another world for the benefit of humanity. That's awesome. That sentence right there just gave me chills. We selected an initial team of NASA astronauts, the Artemis Team, to help pave the way for the next lunar missions, including sending the first woman and next man to walk on the lunar surface in 2024. That is soon. And we are not doing this alone. International partnerships are key to long-term exploration, and some of our astronauts will join the Artemis team later. Together, we will define this incredible Artemis generation of science and lunar exploration that doesn't stop at the moon, rather prepares humanity for our next giant leap, Mars. Now let's meet the Artemis team. Now they have a nice video here. I'm not going to play it because I'm just going to skip ahead. Here they are. We've got Joseph Akaba, Kayla Barron, Raja Achari, Matthew Dominic, Victor Glover, Warren Hoberg, Johnny Kim, Christina Koch, Kel Lindgren, Nicole Mann, Anne McLean, Jessica Meir, Jasmine Mogbailey, Kate Rubens, Frank Rubio, Scott Tingle, Jessica Watkins, and Stephanie Wilson. I apologize if I pronounce any of your names incorrectly, and I have this other article that kind of digs a little bit more into it. I'm going to get into that. NASA defines science priorities for first crewed Artemis landing on the moon. And let's see. And that's going to launch in 2024. It's amazing. The priorities and a candidate set of activities are included in this new report. The Artemis 3 Science Definition Team, which comprises federal employees and consultants with expertise on lunar science, began meeting in September to define compelling and achievable science objectives for all aspects of the Artemis 3 mission, including sampling strategies, field surveys, and deployable experiments. The moon often is referred to as the cornerstone of the solar system, and these high-priority investigations will help scientists better understand fundamental planetary processes that operate across the solar system and beyond. In addition, the team prioritizes investigations that will help NASA understand the risks and potential resources of the moon's south pole, where the agency hopes to establish its Artemis base camp concept by the end of the decade, which makes sense because they believe there's plenty of water there at the bottom, which means they would be able to refuel and, of course, most importantly, get water to survive. The moon holds vast scientific potential, and astronauts are going to help us enable that science, says Thomas Zurbuchen, Associate Administrator for NASA's Science Mission Directorate. Even before Artemis 3 lands, our agency's science and human exploration teams are working together as never before to ensure that we leverage each other's strengths. This report helps outline a path forward to the compelling science we can now contemplate doing on the lunar surface in conjunction with our human explorers. Questions the team explored include how to approach investigations and key science activities on the lunar surface and how to incorporate science into the concept of operations for the crewed mission to the lunar surface. The team also solicited papers from and drew from many existing reports outlining the highest science priorities of the lunar science community, which has been prepping for the return of humans to the moon's surface for decades. Science will be an integral part of the Artemis missions, and we look forward to planning missions of human and scientific discovery that draw on the thoughtful work of this team, says Kathy Luters, Associate Administrator for the NASA's Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate. The work NASA is already doing in science will help prepare for the Artemis 3 landing in 2024 and maximize the science value of having humans back on the lunar surface for the first time since 1972. It was, as was the experience during Apollo era of human exploration, every second of an astronaut's time on the lunar surface will be meticulously planned, and the report will provide a resource for mission planners who will be developing crew surface activities. Activities related to field geology, sample collection, return, and deployed experiments are all part of the necessary mix of work to advance the science program at the moon. Collectively, this candidate set of activities will address the highest science priorities that can be achieved at the lunar South Pole. Now, I am so excited, and honestly, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit jealous. Whoa. UFO, are you okay? Sorry, everybody. The UFO seemed to have had a little malfunction. There we go. Are you feeling better, bud? You feeling better? Okay. He's good. Here's a little spin for the new Artemis team, because I can't wait to see them land on that. I can't wait to see them land on that moon. You know what's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to read into some of these here super chats. And let's get cracking on it. All right. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Travis Wright says the Chinese super soldier project is extremely similar to Halo lore and the creation of the Spartan 2, genetic augmentation on kids. And it is frightening. I'm telling you, it is frightening what we're seeing. I did an episode the other day about, I think it was Monday, and I uploaded a video about this Chinese super soldier that they're trying to do. They're actually, genetically trying to modify their citizens, and it's pretty crazy. If you want to find out more, you can check out that video on my YouTube channel, which you're watching me now on. Oh, of course, some people can be watching me over on Library, because now I'm over there, and also the podcast, so maybe. Mark G says, do you think you'll move to D-Live or dual stream if YouTube nukes your channel? Yeah, D-Live is another thing. I'm definitely trying to diversify my online presence, because I have no idea if YouTube is going to get mad at me, get pissed off at the things that I talk about, because I am talking about the things that I've actually found, talking about the actual court cases that are happening, that are people are the states themselves are bringing to the Supreme Court. So we'll see. I don't know exactly, what's happening with it, but we do what we can. Adam's Farts. Please talk about us more often on the show. Okay. They are prevalent and significantly less smelly than before I was vegan. And there we go. Ozdog says, obey the deep state. Biden won and get vaccine. That was a super chat, YouTube. I was just reading the super chat. Panzer says, RHAZ got foreclosed in 2018 and they blame it on COVID, $50,000, and are asking for $250,000 on GoFundMe. They also claim to be sovereign citizens. See, that's what I was saying. It was from 2018 that they got foreclosed on, which means they had been failing before 2018, because if it foreclosed in 2018, how does it have anything to do with the lockdown and these 2020? It just happens to be this year where the people who bought it in 2018 said, all right, can we have our house that we bought? And I'm not even saying it's right, whatever, but it's the truth. Everything they're going on is wrong. David Meigs, thank you for becoming a member. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you for that. The UFO says, I spin sweeter than a gang member's rhymes. I will spin the UFO for that. That super chat from the UFO. All right, there you go, UFO. Spin a little spin. This is a little spin. Hey, look, if you haven't smashed that like button, the like button, smash, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. So if you smash it, maybe it'll help keep me around a little longer. Smash the UFO. Everything. Yes, smash. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so below, because I guess I've been stuck at 176,000 subs for like a month and a half, 2 months now. I think I'm already pissing someone off in the YouTube world, but I hope they still keep me around because I like it here. Let's see. Jason Dixon says, I was just kicked off your stream twice. Really? Kicked off? What does that even mean? See, I don't even know what's going on here. Like already my stream again is frozen on my my YouTube studio, so I don't even know if I'm still live. I just gonna keep going as if I'm live. Oh, it just reset and said excellent condition. All right, so there's that. Byron Banks says, remember the left said on social media, the revolution will not be televised. We have watched a summer of terrorism and now again in real time here. It's pretty insane, isn't it? It's pretty insane. Yep. Let's see. Tiny Balls of Steel says, make a Rumble and Parler account. I do have Parler. It's at Adam Crigler right up here. You can see at Adam Crigler. If you want to follow me there, you can. Pretty much Adam Crigler or Adamcast IRL is the way I'm going to be doing things. Yeah, people are reporting that my stream is cutting in and out. I don't know what's going on. I could tell you this, though. Tomorrow morning, we are getting the gigabit internet. So the internet should be kicked up a notch as far as starting tomorrow. So hopefully this is the last that it happens. I don't know what's going on. Thinking around with me, though. I do appreciate it. All right. Ryan says, for Cyberpunk people, if you want to play early, change your location to New Zealand in your game system settings. And enjoy. Actually, it's funny. You said that at 7 p.m., which on PC, Cyberpunk went live everywhere across the world. And I think it's because in New Zealand was the first place that it was midnight. So it's officially tomorrow in New Zealand. So they just sent it everywhere. But on my PS5 actually, it still needs to wait till midnight for that. Short Bus Dave says, Adam, do you like freedom? Do you love freedom? Yes, I do love freedom. I do. Yep. The doctor says his name was Seth Rich, and he will not be forgotten. I am looking into that, actually, too, because it's pretty crazy, that whole story. Raven says, when will big tech realize that we are the ants and they are the grasshoppers? If we all gave tech the finger and walked away, they'd poop themselves. Yeah, maybe. Yep, that's true. I mean, when are we all going to do it, though? That's the key. Trent says, thoughts on what the people should do if Beijing Biden gets in and starts selling worthy to going to the gym to work arms. Hashtag no beanie, no peace. I don't like the idea of anything. Yeah, I don't like the idea of any fighting. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Man, everyone is telling me that the stream is kicking. I'm losing all of my viewers too. I don't know what's going on. This is pretty insane. I'm sorry if you guys are being booted off my stream. I guess it's freezing up. I know I just lost 1,500 viewers in the past 1 minute. Unfortunately, what is going on with my my stream? Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know. It's funny that it was an episode about YouTube and potentially me not being here anymore, and all of a sudden I'm losing all my concurrent viewers. So thanks for hanging out still, if you're still trying to join me and hang out. Let's see. Gould says, left Minnesota for Norway 3 years ago, kind of scared for the country. What if all the red states secede if not heard? A civil war? Roll the dice for the USA. I'm going to roll the dice. All right. And you want to know the craziest thing? I just rolled the die, and I rolled a natural 20. I rolled that die for America, and I rolled a 20. Natural 20, random 20-sided die. I said, I'm rolling this die for America, and I rolled a 20. That's pretty cool. I'm going to take a picture of it right now. You know, look, you guys haven't. I haven't looked over there, okay? And I want to prove to you. Can you guys see this? Natural 20. Natural 20. That's pretty crazy. All right, I proved it. It's a natural 20. That's awesome. That's some luck right there. That's my luck. I'm rolling this for America. America's gonna win. Boom. Natural 20. That initiative is strong. Strong initiative. All right, everyone's getting kicked. I'm sorry if you keep getting kicked out. I don't know what's going on with my feed. Jason says, predatory loan is like calling you a racist because you voted for Trump. Stop using their fake outrage words. Right, exactly. Yes, thank you. Byron says, Kayla Barron is already a pioneer, being one of the first submarine-qualified female officers. I am proud to call her a sister of the Finn. Right on. Cool, cool. Was she one of the, hold on, did I just double cross-referencing the, yeah, Kyla Barron. She was the second female. That's cool. She was the first submarine qualified female officers. That's dope. Right on. She could potentially be the first woman to walk on the moon. Caleb says, did you watch the SN8 launch earlier? It was amazing. I did. It was very, very amazing. There was a time where it looked like it was going to fall sideways, but then it righted itself, but then it fell sideways. And I was like, oh no, it's sideways. But then it actually came back. It looked like it was supposed to because it's got the fins. Man, it was very cool. Dwayne Turner, thank you for becoming a member. Bing, 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 bing. You can check out some of the covers that I put and some of the music that I uploaded just for my members. Let's see. Exior, thank you for that super chat. Look, I don't know what is going on with my my feed right now. Bird Gang says, does this mean Timcast IRL is going to be dropping people as well? I have no idea. I don't know what you even mean by that. I'm not dropping people, or at least I'm personally not doing it. It seems like YouTube's... I don't know what's happening with my YouTube feed today. That Simple Note said, had to restart my stream. It feels like you're being throttled. I kind of said it yesterday. Like, I feel like there might be something going on. I had Philip Anderson on my show. That dude has been blocked from everywhere. Google doesn't seem to like him very much. I knew it was a risky thing, you know, but was I afraid to have him on? Absolutely not, because I respect him and what he's done and what he's doing. I mean, the government just is suing Facebook because they're a monopoly. That's crazy. That happened today. So what is going on today? Facebook also, or YouTube, changed their whole, terms of service that you can't talk about specific things that I've been talking about. I don't know what's going on, but it's crazy. Walba says, my thumbs up disappeared. What? Your thumbs up disappeared? I hope you did the only thing that you should have done is re-smashed it. You got the lucky honor of smashing twice. I mean, I would assume you smashed it again, right? I mean, I don't like to make assumptions, but we currently have more likes than viewers, which is amazing. If you haven't smashed that like button, please do, because it's amazing. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, also do that. That would be fantastic. And I just want to give a shout out again. If you go over to Library or Odyssey, which is library is lbry.tv, you can check out my Adamcast. Everything is there, and if you use the promo code spin-the-UFO, you get a little bit of a bonus LBC, which is basically like a cryptocurrency that they use for getting things, for referring other people. It's really cool. So you get a little bit of a little boost of cryptocurrency if you use that coin. Or use that code spin-the-UFO. Spin the UFO with dashes in between, and you get a little bit of cryptocurrency when you sign up. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Justin Wright says, please take a moment of silence for the loss of Chuck Yeager, first man to break the sound barrier. Absolutely. Chuck Yeager, what a boss. And I was following on YouTube, Twitter. He was actually relatively active on Twitter. It was really cool. Like and he is the first man to break the sound barrier. So just give a little moment of peace for Chuck Yeager. I'm going to spin the UFO for him. It's for you, Chuck. Man was an OG. What a legend. A legend. Yes, spin-the-UFO for the code. And yeah, All right, let's see. Janet says, yet won't let me post unless it's a super chat. Really? You can't even just post in chat and talk? That's weird. I don't know what is going on. So I'm sorry. I apologies for everyone because it definitely feels a little wild today. Dark Fox says, you should have Mike Glover on from Fieldcraft Survival. Check him out. He is into survival, being prepared. He's ex-military, solid guy. That sounds really cool. I would love to have someone like that on the show. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, everybody. Look, I just want to make it very clear. I appreciate every single one of you for sticking in there, trying to hang out with me and refreshing, coming back after you got kicked off. I see a lot of people saying that, and thank you all for really just getting back and trying to hang out with me. You guys are fantastic, and you know, I owe all of this to you. You got all of you for this. So thank you so much. You guys are the best. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I'll tell you this: tomorrow our new internet's coming in. So if by chance it has something to do with the internet, which would be wonderful, you know, I would love to think that, look, YouTube has nothing to do with this. It's just our crappy internet, and that would be fantastic. So, you know, it's just timing is a little funny, isn't it? I mean, we'll see. So I got one more. Dwayne Turner says, if the Texas lawsuit doesn't bring the vote to the House and Trump victory, if Biden is inaugurated, I am willing to bet China will invade Taiwan shortly afterwards. P.S. As an American, Taiwan is a nation. Yeah, I said it. Right on. Yeah, it's, oh man, I don't know what's going on over there. It's going to be crazy. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. But thank you everyone for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow. I am going to be going live soon with Cyberpunk. I'm going to be going on my Twitch channel. I'm going to be using my phone. I'm going to be, I'm actually might go buy a 5G phone tomorrow. Just to be able to, you know, I don't know, go live wherever I am. We'll see. I don't know. I do like the fact that I'm on a phone that it's an old Apple i7. Right before they were able to add like the contact tracing programs, they can't do it on my phone. So it's kind of fun. But we'll see. I don't know. So thank you everyone for hanging out. I'm going to get off because I don't know what's going on, but it seems like I'm still throttled a little bit. So thank you all for hanging out. I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow, and it should be smooth because we'll be on the better gigabit internet. So hopefully that'll fix it all. So you guys all have a great night. Tune in to Twitch TV/Adam Crigler later on if the internet allows me to stream Cyberpunk. I'm going to be doing so. So thank you, everybody. You guys all have a good night. I'll see you next time.